Welcome to Gaia, where innovation meets sustainability. Today, we're introducing a groundbreaking technology that's transforming farming, our patented nanobubble generators. At Gaia, we've harnessed the power of nanotechnology to create ultra-fine bubbles that are 8 times more efficient than traditional aeration systems. For fish farms, our nanobubble generators ensure a healthier aquatic environment. These tiny bubbles increase oxygen levels, promoting better growth and reducing stress in aquatic life. In agricultural farms, Gaia nanobubbles enhance water quality, leading to more robust crops and higher yields. There's more. Our technology isn't just good for farms, it's great for the planet. Oxygenated nanobubbles play a crucial role in carbon sequestration, helping to combat climate change. Join us in this sustainable revolution. With Gaia's nanobubble technology, we're not just farming smarter, we're farming for the future. Discover more about our technology and join the movement towards a greener future. Visit our website at GaiaNano.com and be a part of this change with Gaia.
Where the oxygen is going in, the fish hang around. It's hard to
The final technology I'm looking at is nanobubbles. You may have heard of nanobubbles, but if you have not, it's a recent technology that looks like it will have enormous applications across virtually all fields that use water, including medicine. Nanobubbles are really tiny bubbles. They are defined as bubbles with a diameter that's less than 100 nanometers. And the technical term for a bubble that is less than 100 nanometers is an ultrafine bubble. They are so tiny that they can only be seen with an electron microscope. And being on the nanoscale, the physics changes and some very interesting properties emerge, to the point that some of it looks almost like science fiction. For example, nanobubbles do not float. And they do not pop. They implode. And when they implode, heat and light are released. I read a physics paper, and this came out of the University of Illinois, and they wanted to know how much heat was released from an imploding bubble. And it turned out they measured that the temperature was 4 times greater than the surface of the sun. This looks like science fiction to me. And the science organization that reported this result actually wrote, "Their results seem out of this world." So I'm not exaggerating when I get excited about this technology. The bubbles are so tiny that their diameter is less than the wavelength of light. Here are the wavelengths of the various colors of light. And notice violet at the bottom has the smallest wavelength at 400 nanometers. Now remember, nanobubble diameters are less than 100 nanometers. So not only are the nanobubbles smaller than the wavelengths of light, they're a lot smaller. The nanobubble generator I am using was generously provided by Gaia, and specifically Dr. Mayer Dev. The application I am interested in is to use nanobubbles to generate very high levels of dissolved oxygen and to determine their effects on plant growth. Now remember, 8 parts per million dissolved oxygen is considered to be very high quality water for growing plants. The water at the USDA greenhouses is about 6 to 7 parts per million dissolved oxygen, so it is acceptable for plant growth, though it's not great. This was my first experience with ultra-fine nanobubbles, and I was very interested if I would see the extremely high oxygen levels generated as reported for this technology. Now Gaia guarantees their generators will produce at least 30 parts per million oxygen, but I measured 40 parts per million oxygen that day, and this is really quite remarkable. Gaia's ultrafine nanobubble generator is not really visible in this picture. It's inside the bucket, and we are testing the effects of 30 part per million dissolved oxygen on citrus, both healthy and HLB infected. The experiments we are running now are what I consider to be small proof of concept experiments. The first experiment we have run used HLB infected citron cuttings, a system developed by Dr. Greg McCullum at the USDA. Model test systems are essential for studying this disease because they are economical and experimentally robust. This experiment was simple. 12 plants treated with 30 parts per million dissolved oxygen ultrafine nanobubbles and 12 plants treated with untreated greenhouse water. The plants were transplanted into Rux pots and grown for 5 months. A number of measures were taken, and I'll just point your attention to root fresh weight. This graph makes it a bit easier to see the effect. The p-value is less than 0.05, indicating that the increased size of the nanobubble treated plants is real. The nanobubble treated plant roots were 28% heavier. We've just set up a larger and more robust experiment to test the effects of highly oxygenated ultrafine nanobubble water on the growth of citrus. One of the major applications is the cleanup and creation of extremely high quality water, all done with these very, very tiny bubbles. I have read in the literature, I think it's quite possible that nanobubble technology could very well rank as one of the most important discoveries of this century.
Hello, I'm Lauren McBride, and I'm here in a plant nursery here in Phoenix, Arizona. I'd like to show you today the Gaia oxygenated water system for plants, made for garden centers, nurseries, and even large-scale greenhouse operations. Easy to use, simply press this lever and start watering. Here in Phoenix, as in many parts of the US, water has very little oxygen saturation, but Gaia oxygenated water systems enable plants to thrive and prevent anaerobic pathogens from attacking plant roots. Gaia is the oldest name known from Mother Nature, and Gaia Water's patented technology utilizes the forces of Mother Nature to saturate oxygen in water. This dissolved oxygen meter is perfect to check oxygen in water saturation. Here we are showing 35 parts per million and climbing, more than 5 times more oxygen. This water will stay saturated with oxygen for weeks after this one application.